Hadaka Jime Ni and Hadaka Jime San. Typically we practice this from somebody throwing a roundhouse punch. You could also do it from a straight punch with a parry, parry, or just a parry to get to the outside of the arm to get around behind. But we generally practice it from a roundhouse punch. I've seen other schools do it with a straight punch. Either way, getting to the strangle is less important than once you're there what we're actually going to do. For us, I'm going to block my inside hand. I'm striking the forearm with my forearm as that arm comes around, not just holding it up tight, but actually attacking the arm. See how my arm is rotating as I strike. And then for Hadaka Jime Ni, Sensei Mike prefers the elbow to the bicep. So I'm going to block, and I'm striking the elbow, karaku, at pressure point, block, and hit the bicep. This does a couple things. It also protects my head from that strike from the other side. They're punching on one side, I deaden the bicep with my elbow, and strike the forearm, and I'm protecting myself from the other hand. It also sets up my redirect. From here, I chop down and pass. Block, forearm and elbow, chopping down and pushing as you step past the arm. Once I'm here, my hand on the back side goes on the hip, kodenko, this is the temiwaza. My other hand slides right across the chest underneath the chin. So I'm blocking, redirecting, passing, checking the hip, snapping across the chest and under the chin. Pushing the hip and pulling back to get them off balance. Even if I can't push their hips forward, I'm at least keeping them from stepping back, locking them in place and bending them a little bit off balance backwards. Hadaka Jime Ni is a choke. So I'm putting pressure on the trachea itself. I'm going to use the bone of my arm, not the flat of my arm, but the bone on the inside, right across the throat. Coming across, hands together, reinforce, and kind of curling in and up to the throat. I'm not just upright as I'm doing this. If I'm too upright, even while I'm choking them, they're able to lift me and throw me forward. So I've already snapped their hips back, snapped their hips forward and pulled their head back. I'm going to tilt them backwards a little bit, take a step back. So I've got them leaning backwards, lock it in. This actually also allows me to push their head forward with my head into the choke itself. So blocking, redirecting and passing, check the hip, snap the head back. Coming around, lock, reinforce, take a step back, so that they're leaning backwards, and then tilt their head in to the choke. Hadaka Jime San, similar block. Instead of blocking with the elbow, I do a hammer fist. So I'm blocking the forearm and hammer fisting the bicep instead of the elbow. Still redirecting down. Hammer fist the elbow, karaku, push through and pass the arm. This lower hand checks the hip. The other one goes right over the arm, across the chest, under the throat. Push and pull, get them off balance. Once I'm there, the forearm comes around, the bone goes across the trachea, palms together, curl them in, lean back, or step back. I'm not leaning back, but I'm stepping back so that they are leaning back, and then I tilt their head into the choke. Step back and lean. The difference between Ni and San is that this is now going to be a strangle. The choke is Ni. San is, instead of just coming across the front here, I'm going to go even deeper so that my bicep goes across the carotid artery on one side. The throat is caught in the crook of my elbow, and my forearm now, instead of being across the throat, is on the trachea on the the carotid on the far side. All the way through, carotid on one side with the bicep, carotid on the other side with my forearm. I'm going to grab my own bicep, shoulder, whatever I'm getting a hold of. Usually we go all the way behind the head and push the head into the strangle. If you can't get your hand back there, or it's just not working for whatever reason, maybe their shoulder's too big or your arms are shorter, you can just take your hand, I just bend my knuckles and then slide in behind the neck is another nice way to reinforce it. And then just use your head to push their head into it. Either way, behind, or sneak the hand in, tighten it up, and lean. One last time, knee and sun. Knee, I'm blocking using the elbow, redirecting down, check the hip, snap them back. Forearm across the throat for the choke. I take a step back so they're off balance, and then I lean their head into the choke. Hadaka Jime Sun, I'm blocking and hammer fist instead of elbow. Still redirecting and passing the arm, check the hip, straight across the chest, under the chin. Get them off balance. You're just going to go a little bit deeper. Instead of just going here, I go all the way in so that my biceps across the carotid and my forearms on the carotid on the other side. Reinforce, figure four motion. I'm going to grab my bicep. Generally, we go all the way behind the head and helps push the head into the strangle. You can't reach, just bend those knuckles back and sneak it in to tighten it up. And you can just lean forward with your head. So I'm taking a step back to lean them off balance and then pushing their head into the strangle. Hadaka Jime Knee and Hadaka Jime Sun.